when you get in an environment like we're in, I think everybody can think, but thinking is not the most, I think critical thinking is the most important thing. And the reason I say this, I did a TED talk about 10 or 12 years ago that got banned because it was considered too controversial, because it was based around this idea of centralization versus decentralization. And I said in it, as the last line in the talk, ideation without execution leads to deletion of every good idea. Good ideas come from critical thinking. So if you really want to take it back to the nth level, where does critical thinking come from? It actually comes from mitochondrial redox. It actually comes from being plugged in to the proper, decentralized network. Like, people don't look at planet Earth as the spaceship that traverses the Milky Way and the galactic plane, but that's what we're evolved to. And when we are told by doctors for the better part of 50 or 60 years that some of the things in this universe are not good for us, like the sun, which you can see me sitting in now, you got to start asking your question, who's benefiting from this advice? And unfortunately, I'd be venture to say that probably 98% of the people that will watch this podcast on the surface, you gave them a multiple choice question before they listen to it, to say, yeah, I definitely would use sunscreen. I would definitely do this because it's a problem. And I'm going to tell you the data is exactly the opposite. In fact, if it wasn't, the trees behind me and the wild animals out there should all have skin cancer, and they don't. And that makes you ask the question. And then when you say to the dermatologist, there's another funny thing in the literature that you guys have. Those people that get melanoma, skin cancers of all type, they tend to have low vitamin D levels. Well, vitamin D is only made from UVB sunlight from the sun. So if the sun really was toxic, tell me why that's the case and why it's been shown in every single study that's in the dermatology literature. It's because that's not the type of light that causes the problem. But see, if they keep you out of the sun, what do? They make you an obedient idiot so that you keep coming back and getting a wallet biopsy through the centralized program. And then guess what? The profiteers that own the dermatologist and ophthalmologist do pretty well. And they try to muzzle guys like me that point out, hey, instead of believing what the doctors tell you, how about you go read their literature? And, when I throw these papers in front of dermatologists, it's kind of like the end of a Bugs Bunny thing. Badeeb, 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 that's all, folks. They just don't get it.